Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is the WOW podcast, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday, WOWW. I am Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. We are coming to you live and did not plan on it. My dear Wendy, her vacation was postponed. And so we are here live, even though we told you last week we wouldn't be. The next 2 weeks we will not be. But
instead of being in the Caribbean, I'm here watching it snow.
Oh, joy. But anyhow, I am Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I am the owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness. I am an author, an alternative medical practitioner, lover of Jesus, lover of my family. I'm a wife, mom, Gigi, and gardener, cook, all the things. And this is my beautiful friend, Wendy Flournoy.
Hi, y'all. I'm Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbal enthusiast, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things natural and God-given, and all the things gardener. And except this year, I feel like I'm not as crazy as her.
Go figure. I have to share with y'all. So if you watched our podcast last week, we talked about what you do in February to plan. Well, I'm in a unique position because we're not only planning our regular garden, we are planning our new homestead that we move into, that we close on March 28th. So I am like laser focused on all the perennials and all the different things. Wendy, I was texting her late the other day, like, hey, what's your top 3 medicinal plants? I need to make sure I get started now, and she's going through all these.
And I cannot stop at 3. I sent her a huge long list. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, you know me well enough to know that what the heck did I do? I added it all to my list. I clearly did not stop at 3 either. So I have to share this with y'all. So
y'all wait till you see this calendar.
So knowing that I was going to go crazy this year and that I was going to be working on so many perennials, a lot of times I'll just go with a little pocket calendar and write in, the beginning of the week, all the things I can plant. Well, I decided a pocket calendar would not do.
No.
The big grid, so that I could write all the things. The beginning of the week wasn't enough. I have some months.
Oh my gosh.
That's May. That's June.
You have lost it.
I have. So April, May, June, I've got it all the way up until August, but April, May, June in particular are going to be very busy.
You're making me feel like a slacker because this is my Sabbath year, so I'm not doing nearly as much.
You need to rest, my love. I'm very proud of you. You've been in your place for 7 years. It's time to rest. I have no time to rest this year. We are planning all the things, and it's so funny because Bill thinks I'm crazy. Shocker. My husband. He thinks I'm crazy, but he's joining right in with the crazy. Yesterday, last night,
that's wonderful.
Yes. Last night, now, not as much on, baby, we need to grow this and we need to grow this. No. He's just like, he checks out when I start down. He's like, that's your world, babe. Just tell me where to put the raised beds. Just that's all I want to know. But last night we were talking about like where we want to put the goats and how we're going to rotate them and what part of the yard we want to have that fenced in. Then we were talking about the 3 different chicken pens we're going to have and all this. Oh my gosh. All the things. And then I had to throw a big old wrench into it. And I said, I know we can't afford it now, babe, but can we start making plans for putting a big deck off of our sunroom? Because then I can easily move all these plants in the summer out to the deck. And it would just make so much sense. Because right now we don't have an uncovered deck. Right. All we have out there, we have a beautiful covered patio, off where my mom's part of the house is going to be.
Okay.
But the sunroom, off of that, it's just steps to go down. So yeah, I'm
deck plans in the making is a must for all your Florida room trees. Because that's going to be your citrus stuff or your tropical stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a whole list of inside stuff. I'm gonna have my I'm gonna do lemons, limes, and oranges.
Nice.
I was gonna do pomegranates, but we just don't eat enough of them.
Well, look around at like local nurseries and things,
Uh-huh.
because I found pomegranates that are for this area. I
Uh-huh.
bet you can find some there too
Yeah, maybe so.
for outside.
And also, I'm gonna do banana tree because we have our little monkey who loves to eat his bananas all the time.
Nice.
And I want to do what else was for inside? Oh, avocado. Gotta have an avocado tree.
Yes.
That's my answer to everything. Is to
When I went and looked at fast growing trees, they have some amazing avocado trees.
Yeah, that literally grow fast.
Yes.
That's a good resource. If anybody's interested in starting an orchard, fast growing trees is one that looks like they've got a lot of options. They have kiwi vines I was interested in because I had no idea kiwis grew on a vine. I just assumed they were trees.
I didn't either.
They grow on vines. So that's something else I plan on trellising. What was the name of that other company you told me to look at for trees?
Stark Brothers.
Stark Brothers.
Stark Brothers. They're a good option for if you want like bare roots and bare root trees or 3 to 5 year. They do it all, but if you're looking to save money, bare root trees are the best option.
Got it.
And they have organic options and all of that.
Cool.
Yeah. I got all of my blueberries that came from them.
Nice. And they did well.
Yeah, so far so good. And they have I think they have a year warranty.
Okay.
No matter what, if something happens and it dies within a year, unless it's severe neglect on your part,
of course.
They will replace it.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to check them out too, because I'm definitely gonna be price shopping because it's not gonna be cheap.
Yeah, when you're starting from scratch like that, it's not cheap.
No.
That's why I said I'm glad that you're gonna keep me busy propagating all my stuff to give to you.
Yes, I am excited about that. I am very excited about that. I will save wherever I can save, and of course, coming from you will make it extra special. So, but so if you're gonna change, if you guys are gonna take seriously what we talked about last week and start garden planning, please do not feel like this is necessary. This is
not normal, y'all.
No, this is not normal. This is not even normal
that's Wendy style.
But this isn't even normal for me. I usually will have like one block each week of things that can go in. I never do 2 and 3 blocks. That's just insane. But a lot of it is just because of the nature of what I'm trying to accomplish this year with, starting
with the new place. When you're starting over, it takes a little more time. And I would rather go big and have half of it not do anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like that's just who we are.
Yeah, and that's just it. When I showed this to Bill and he almost fell over, I said, please know that this does not mean I'm doing all of this year. Right. I will have certain things I will prioritize each week, and if they don't get done, things don't get done. It's not like I'm
exactly. That's just like a goal. That's a lofty goal list. Yeah. And you just kind of, as you get to it, you prioritize what's most important and do that.
Yeah. And truly, as I go through, if I have a week that I can accomplish it all, great, because I happen to have the time. If I have a week that I'm lucky to get one thing in the ground, I'm going to pick the most important one and roll on. And
that's right.
And the nice thing about having everything in a calendar, mind you, I've written these things over and over. So like if something has a 6-week planting period, it's written 6 times. So it's not like there's something different on every single one of these weeks. So it helped me to look at this and go, ooh, well, this is my last chance to get this in the ground. So it might bump up the priority, but whereas other things, if I know I've got weeks and weeks and weeks to think about it, I'll keep putting it off until either I can't put it off anymore or I give it up.
Well, then it's like that constant reminder to you that this needs to be done. This needs to be done. If you really want this needs to be done, and then like you said, you see that this is the last week. Well, now it's to the point where I have to decide, am I going to plant this or let it go?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and just like the 3 Sisters gardens, we talked about that last week, and about the companion plantings like that. There's certain things that if you don't get it in this week, your companion plans on that particular garden you just might as well hang them up that year. So, or for that year. So like the only thing I have planned for this week, because I'm not coming home till here and we're turning around and leaving here. And I know I got to keep this minimal. It's just my three sisters, sunflower and corn. So if I can get them in, then I know 2 weeks later, I'll be ready to put the beans out there. If I miss this, I can forget three sisters.
Then you have to you have to reschedule everything.
Yeah. And it will push the squash too late, which is what's happened to me before. If I don't, I have learned this. If I don't get them in at the exact right time, you can hang up a successful Three Sisters garden, because the squash will be too late and they won't be able to do their part, which is to keep all the weeds and the moisture in the ground. So it's just a different way of looking at it for different things. But yeah, so welcome to my crazy. We are trying to settle on a name for our homestead, and we were going to call it Bendy's, because everybody knows us as, Bendy, because we've talked about that forever, Bill and Wendy. But the more and more we talked about it, I really want to mirror it off of the business, because there's so much heart that's gone into the name of that business. So I'm almost envisioning a logo similar to that of our business, and that's called either Freedom Holistic Homestead or Holistic Freedom Homestead or something like that. But to be rooted in 2 Corinthians 3:17.
I love Freedom Holistic Homestead.
I think so too. And so then we'll be able to, I want to have on the sign 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's, and the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. And the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on this homestead, because we are fighting him.
I have the Fruit of the Spirit shirt on today.
I love it. That's perfect.
Y'all, I'm going to let Wendy do a lot of talking today, because I have something going on with my throat. So I have made me a special tea this morning.
Tell everybody what's in it.
It's my green tea that I'm trying to have every day, mixed with Tulsi. I threw in some elderberries. I threw in some marshmallow leaf to coat my throat. I threw in some slippery elm to coat my throat, the green tea, and a tiny bit of Manuka honey. Hoping that will just clear up whatever's going on. Yeah.
That's awesome. We jump right on it as soon as we feel the symptoms, and it makes such a difference. Well, y'all are going to want to hang around for this whole episode. At the end, we're going to talk about broccoli sprouts. And if you are intimidated by anything at all that we talked about last week about starting your own garden or growing your own food, I'm going to show you how easy it is to grow broccoli sprouts right in your kitchen all year long, because I want you to get the confidence to feel like you can branch into something else. And when you hear all of the nutritional benefits of broccoli sprouts, it's going to blow your mind. So we're definitely going to
cover easy. So easy and so affordable. The sprouting seeds, it's affordable, it's quick, so good for you.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the podcast. Today, we're going to spend a lot of our time talking about detoxing your home. Wendy and I thought this was a great topic because, in the next month or two, people are going to be really focused on spring cleaning, which I'm sure we'll dive into for that too. But not that spring cleaning is pointless ever, but it will be so much more effective if you detox your home first, if you eliminate so many of the very things that could be making you sick that you don't realize are affecting you. And so we're going to look at environmental toxins that are lurking in your home, how they could be sabotaging your health, from air pollutants to hidden chemicals in your pantry. We'll break down what to watch for, how to detox your space, and simple steps to reclaim a healthier home environment.
It'll be interesting to see what I have versus what you have.
Yes, we both did that on purpose. I said, I'm making a detox checklist of everything to detox in my home, or that we recommend to detox in your home. And then Wendy said, oh, cool, I'm going to do that too. Yep. So we both made checklists. So it will be neat to see how much are the same and what differences we both have, because
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. So let's see here. Oh, where are we going to start? We got so much. Let's start with the toxins we don't see. Listen to me. I'm having sympathetic throat stuff.
Sorry about that.
So indoor air is often 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. It's because we're closing everything up, especially this time of year. Common sources of hidden toxins are what are called VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds. From air fresheners, candles, and cleaning supplies. We don't think of those things. We think, oh gosh, they're making my house smell good, or they're doing good things. I'll tell you, and I'm, not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I used to be a Scentsy freak.
Me too.
Until I found out how
and
toxic.
Yankee Candle.
Yes.
Scentsy and Yankee Candle. I loved them.
Oh my gosh. I used them all the time. Now I won't use a candle unless it's beeswax, or something.
I'm going to tell you what, it is very cost effective to buy 5 pounds of natural organic beeswax and some candle wicks and little jars, and make your own candles using essential oils that you like.
Exactly.
It's so easy. You just pretty much melt the wax.
Yeah. Melt the wax, mix in the essential oils, and put your wick in, and boom.
That's
you're
right.
good.
You got your own candle with your scent that you like, that probably is helping your air.
Yeah, exactly. And also the wicks matter. Remind me. Tell me, because I always get this mixed up. Do you remember which wicks it is that we're supposed to use? Is it the cotton?
I have to look that up. I know there is a specific wick that you're supposed to use that's better than most.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next time. And I bet you
let me make a note.
If Janet Miller is watching, I can't see comments, but she works in a candle factory. Okay. And I know she's shared with me before the best wicks. I want to say it's something that's either wood-based or cotton-based. You want to be really careful because a lot of the wicks are synthetic. Yes. They're like polyester made and things like that. Yes.
So it's kind of, that defeats the purpose.
Right. So we'll bring that for a future episode.
I got a note to check that out and bring it back.
Yeah, because I forgot to look at that. So, but yes, get rid of the air fresheners, get rid of the candles. They are loaded with toxins. And just either make your own, or there's a lot of times if you go to the, natural, like to the farmers markets, you'll find somebody that's made their own beeswax candles and things like that. They're wonderful. So definitely stick with that. And then, of course, cleaning supplies. We've talked about that extensively in our podcast. Yes, so we don't need to beat that one, again. But if you're making basic organic cleaners out of distilled vinegar and lemon, you are not introducing chemicals into the air that are just going to be lingering.
Anything that calls for bleach, use vinegar.
Yes. Synthetic fragrances in laundry detergents, perfumes, and personal care products, that's huge. And that's easy to find out. It'll break your heart. Yeah. Most of your favorite products that you've been using for decades are going to be something that you're going to want to really phase out. That's what happened to me. I was like, Mary Kay had to go out the window. So many different products I'd used for years had to go out the window, but my skin has thanked me. That's because, right. My skin looks better at almost 51 than it did at 40,
right?
Or 35. Right. And it's because I've taken this so seriously. The easy way to do that, y'all, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You're going to look at the list of ingredients on your personal care products, and it's going to make you fall over because you're not going to know what's good, what's not good, what to trust, what don't trust. And if you do what we've taught you all to do with food.
Yep.
With food, I've said, if you scan and look for natural flavors, because it's the 4th most common ingredient in all foods behind water, sugar, salt. I want you to do the same thing and scan your box for parfum or fragrance. Because if it's written in French, it's going to be parfum. But which sounds funny coming from a Southern accent, doesn't it? Parfum. Oh my gosh, I got to derail and tell you this story. I went on a mission trip to Honduras. It happened at my 30th birthday. It was something that I went on with my some of my fellow nursing students 20 years ago, and I literally turned 30 there. But we went to one of the villages, and we were, we were meeting up with so many, just the most beautiful children ever, and helping get them, antibiotics and medicines they needed. And we were looking for people with cleft palates and, irregularities to their heart and different things like that. Well, we're out there playing duck, duck, goose with the kids. And I had learned all I knew. I didn't know how to say duck, duck, goose in Spanish. So I was doing perro, perro, gato, which is dog, dog, cat. And then, I told him, I was trying to talk to him the best I could in Spanish. And I said, te amo. They go around teasing me as they're talking, going, te amo, like really.
Because it had that southern drawl to it.
I hear these little kids, and I was like, I am totally being teased right now by these kids who are tickled with my accent. And they were going around going, te amo.
That's cute.
Anyway, totally derailed, but it made me think of that. So scan your personal care items for parfum or for fragrance. As soon as you see that, phase that sucker right on out. Yep. It's going to be on the majority of yours. I'm telling you, it's going to break your heart. Yep. But that is the equivalent of what we see in food that is natural flavors. So it might have a teeny bit of some sort of natural fragrance component in it, but they are allowed to hide hundreds of chemicals under that word fragrance. And I've even seen some companies try and get cute and say, oh, well, our fragrances originate with essential oils. Okay, well, maybe they do, but that doesn't mean that that's exclusive of all chemicals. And if it was, the only thing that they would put would be that essential oil.
That's right.
So just
QT time is over.
Yes.
As Dan Bongino says.
Yes, QT time is over. Stop letting them lie to you.
Stop being cute.
Yes. So laundry detergents also, you can check out the Freedom Holistic Wellness Facebook page. And I've posted both my
liquid and powder
laundry detergent, both very effective. I'm loving the powder right now because it takes up so much less room.
Right.
But yeah, you can
for a quick laundry softener, vinegar and baking soda.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I do exactly that, and I add some essential oil to it just for a little bit of a flavor.
Yeah, if you want scent, add a few drops of essential oil.
Yeah, exactly. Super easy. All right, so household dust is often laced with flame retardants and chemicals from furniture. So definitely keep things dusted. Not my strong point, but definitely keep things dusted. If you are in the market for new furniture, as we will be here in a couple of months, don't get the Scotch Guard. Don't get the sprayed stuff on whatever you get. Anything that you can ask them to leave off, because they spray. I had no idea the amount of chemicals they spray into upholstery. That's in your new cars. That new car smell is not a good thing. That new car smell is chemical. So anything that you can have control over, we can't always. Sometimes they come from the factory with some of this stuff, but do the best you can to try and ask them.
I did find this. If you are in the market for buying new furniture, check out Green Science Policy Institute. They have a list of products that's completely free of PFAS.
Ooh, thank you for telling us that.
Yeah, and because all furniture before 2015 and older has all kinds of stuff in it, but they started making a list of PFAS PFAS free furniture.
Tell me the name of that again. Green Science.
Green Science Policy Institute.
Good to know. That is new.
It's kind of like the Environmental Working Group for Furniture.
Nice. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to check them out for sure before we go buying anything. That's good to know. Also, mold and mildew. Go ahead.
They did also recommend that when you're in the market for things like that, to look for Green Label Plus.
Okay.
Or Green Guard certification.
Okay. Green Guard and
Green Label Plus or Green Guard certification.
Nice to know.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's wild.
I always learn something when I go to research something.
Yeah, for sure. Whoops. All right. Okay. Very good. Now that I'm taking notes, I'm always learning from Wendy.
Same. Back and forth. I'm always here with a notebook.
So mold and mildew, this is a big problem in a lot of people's homes, and they have no idea where it is lurking. The obvious places are going to be bathrooms, kitchens, basements, under your sinks, places like that have the potential for a buildup of any kind of moisture. Yeah. I will tell you that we had in our attic several years back a leak of something to do with the HVA system.
Like the catch pan thing. Yeah. We've had the same issue.
Yeah. Leaked over into our bedroom, and we thought everything was fine. And it's definitely changed the color we now see in the sheetrock. And, we didn't have any issues that we knew of, but we've probably been sleeping in our bedroom with mold brewing over our heads and had no idea.
Right.
So, and it is interesting because there's a lot of times that Bill and I will wake up in the morning really stuffy.
Yeah.
And then we're fine once we go about our day and we leave the bedroom. And so I'm sure it has a lot to do with that.
Probably. I'll tell you a good tip for especially this time of year where it's winter most places. Mm-hmm. Once a week, open your windows for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Because everything just kind of gets so stuck inside that it's so good just to kind of air it out, because we're outside more when the weather's nicer. We open windows more when the weather's nicer. But this time of year, it's kind of great just to go open the windows in the entire house for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
No matter how cold it is, it will.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps.
Add some fresh air into your house for sure.
And also, we talked about it before too, houseplants.
Yes.
Houseplants will definitely help with all kinds of stuff in the air.
Spider plants, peace lilies.
Yes.
All kinds are so good for that. You're exactly right. Snake plants, they're really good. Pesticide residues on conventional produce stored in your kitchen. That's something we talk about all the time. Be aware of, if you're not purchasing organic vegetables, even if you are, it might still have minimal pesticide residues on them. So you definitely want to use a mixture of water and vinegar, white distilled vinegar, and, soak your veggies and your fruit, do a quick wash on them, and you'll have a lot better, you'll rid a lot of that exposure. Also really try to avoid the appeal, or if you see anything, sometimes they don't specifically say appeal, but it'll say, vegetable-based coating has been applied to this, product or something like that. You can't wash that off.
No.
And so I don't care how safe they say it is. I do not buy it. It messes with the natural degradation process of your fruit. That can't be good. You don't want to mess with anything in nature like that. And so, if you see that it has a peel or any kind of coating on it, skip it.
Speaking of pesticides too, one way you can keep from bringing into your house, take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Our shoes carry lead, pollen, pesticides, everything. So take your shoes off coming in the door of the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That
know
is
it's a pain and I hate to do it, but I now have gone to house slippers. So
yeah.
just because I'm used to wearing shoes all the time. So when I'm in the house now, I have on my slippers, and I'm trying to get better about not allowing shoes all through the house because it does cut down on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And why all this matters, toxins accumulate and impact your hormonal balance, your immune health, and even your gut health. You know, a lot of these things get in, either we breathe them in or they get on our skin. And our skin is the largest organ of our body. It absorbs everything that is, that it comes in contact with to some degree. Which is why your personal care products matter so much. You don't want all those toxins floating around in your body. Also, certain chemicals are endocrine disruptors.
Yes.
They're linked to thyroid dysfunction, which has become epidemic. We don't talk about that enough. It is absolutely not normal for us to have the amount of people on thyroid medications that we do. And I'll tell you, that was something that I noticed towards the end of my bedside nursing that had evolved over that 20-year period that I was, ER and trauma, is that when I would get people's medication lists, it went from early in my career noticing that sickly people were all on, blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid, diabetes medications. That was just like the norm. If they were elderly and sickly, that's what they were on. I started noticing that it was nothing for me to see teenagers, 20-somethings, all on thyroid medications. And I'm like, what is happening? And it's because we have so many endocrine disruptors in our environment, in our products and in our foods. And we have to really fight against those things in our homes. We really need to.
When I was doing a little research on this, I did find like 4 studies on endocrine disrupting chemicals that cause breast cancer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. It's amazing how much is being linked to these endocrine disruptors and breast cancer. You're exactly right. Also, fertility issues. We see more of those now than ever. Every one of us knows somebody who has either struggled with fertility, gone for IVF, or IUI. I mean, we all know somebody that has battled this. When we were kids or early, in our 20s, all of our friends that wanted to have babies were all popping out babies, and even some that weren't planning on.
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
It was a whole lot easier to get pregnant back then, I can tell you.
All I had to do was think about it.
I know. I had said I had 2 babies so young, and granted, I was married and all the things, but still, I said, Lordy, if I would have not stopped trying, I would have had a baker's dozen. I would have just kept going. It was like I just had to breathe, and boom, I'm pregnant. I mean, it was crazy. Nowadays, it is not that easy for people. I've worked with a lot of people that have come to me to go through my program because they can't have a baby and are pregnant by the time they're done with the 16 weeks or even halfway through. It's amazing what getting the toxins out of your system will all of a sudden open you up.
Everything starts working properly and there's no issue.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. And also a lot of these endocrine disruptors can increase inflammation, which is what we are constantly battling, is we want to have a reduction of inflammation in our lives at all times for all of our improved health. Also, all of these potential toxins in your home can cause low-level lead exposure.
Yes.
The low level exposure to all these toxins can also lead to a toxic load and chronic illness. So the toxic load is something I talk to a lot of my clients about, because they're like, I don't understand how I've been eating this food forever and it didn't seem to affect me. Because you had a low level toxin load going on at all times. And it wasn't until, if you've ever heard the rain barrel effect, where, one drop of water at a time, and it might not be doing anything. And then all of a sudden that last drop causes it to overflow.
Yep.
That's when a lot of people start recognizing there's a problem, because all of a sudden that rain barrel's overflowed and they've got disease.
Yep.
And so, it makes a big difference. So checklist, I got a big old checklist, and I know you've started naming some, and I can definitely, y'all take notes, because Wendy and I are going to have a bunch. My first one, let's start with the kitchen.
Okay.
My first one is going to be to swap out all plastic food storage containers.
I got a big thing that says go glass.
Yes. Glass or true stainless steel, is what you want. I was very resistant to this, because my thrifty self can't stand throwing things away, until
my Tupperware collection was large.
Yes, same. Tupperware or old Chinese takeout containers or whatever the heck else I was putting food in. But when Bill got cancer, I said, nope, I'm making some major changes. And even though I was living this healthy lifestyle and preaching this healthy lifestyle, I had not let go of my plastic. And that is something I did 4 years ago when he had cancer, or 3.5 years ago. So you want to get rid of it all. And I know it costs money to get some of those glass containers. Y'all start small.
Yep.
Dump all
I started for $35 just replacing my lunch containers, my Chinese takeouts, and my plastic butter things.
Yeah, you can get good size, like 20, 24.
Yeah, you can get a nice set for $35.
Yeah, on Amazon. It's very easy to find. Just search glass containers, and you'll notice a lot of them have plastic tops. I just don't microwave those.
That's what I do. I do the same thing, because I have yet to find one that has glass tops. They all have plastic tops. But when you go to heat your food up, don't keep that top on.
No, take the top off. If it needs a cover, throw a paper towel over top or something like that. Unbleached, if you haven't switched over to unbleached paper towels, that's always a good option. Or a piece of unbleached parchment paper. You can use that. But yeah, you definitely want to get rid of the plastic. And the key is, you don't want to ever heat plastic. And that includes washing it in hot water. Yep. So like my plastic lids, I hand wash in cold.
Yep.
And it's not always easy, because if they get greasy, it takes a little bit of extra elbow grease. I don't put them in the dishwasher. I hand wash them with, with cold water, and I make sure that they don't touch my food when it's hot. Yeah. So a lot of times if I'm making, say, like a big pot of soup, I'll fill up my glass containers and sit them aside until they've come down to room temperature, and then I'll put my tops on them.
Yeah.
So,
same for the cookware, stainless steel, cast iron.
Yep. Ditch the Teflon, y'all.
Yep.
Get rid of the coated cookware for sure. We've talked about that ad nauseum. So if you ever want to hear all the nitty gritty on that, check out some of our past podcast episodes where we talk about cookware.
I did find something interesting, even though I don't have a gas stove. For those that have gas stoves, you're supposed to always use your hood vent, because of nitrogen dioxide and tiny particulates. I had no idea about that. So, all of that can irritate your nose and cause asthma flare-up, headaches, and fatigue. So if you don't have a hood vent, you're supposed to open a window when you're cooking with your gas stove. I didn't know that.
It makes sense. Yeah. I had my gas stove, the gas left on just a hair.
Right.
And in an old apartment I was in, and I wasn't used to gas. And luckily we had a CO2 monitor, and it started going crazy. And the fire department came, and they were like, yeah, you all were on the verge of getting really, really sick or worse. And so, yeah.
That's on my list too. Carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah. Yeah. That is important. Filter your water. Yep. Chlorine and fluoride can harm your gut microbiome. That's definitely something that you want to switch out. Of course, we haven't gotten to bathroom yet, but toothpaste. Yeah. Stay away from the fluoride. I don't care what you've heard for the last 50 years.
There's so many studies out there now that have proven the fluoride is not good for us and it harms your IQ.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that as well. We talked about using natural cleaning agents, vinegar and lemon, make a powerful, safe cleaner. Like Wendy said, using baking soda. I've shared in here before that my favorite kitchen cleaner is lemon and rosemary. I literally just put fresh lemon and rosemary sprigs and fill it up with either a diluted or full strength distilled white vinegar, and it works fantastic. I love it.
And anything that you use, you can find a natural recipe.
Yeah,
like the OxyClean, I think I shared before.
Yeah,
making your own OxyClean. It's baking soda, peroxide, and distilled water. So it's like you can take simple ingredients and make pretty much anything that you buy.
Yeah,
that's toxic.
Very true. Very true. And then, of course, just because we're talking about kitchen, buying organic produce, go on the EWG website, Environmental Working Group, and look at what the Dirty Dozen list is and avoid anything on the Dirty Dozen list unless it is organic. And the Clean 15 list will also give you your least pesticide concerns of produce. And they update that every year, usually in April.
Yeah.
So
their website is great too, because if you have questions about a product, you can go on their website and you can search a particular product. Or if you're looking for a good clean shampoo, they have a huge list, and they'll tell you on their scale, it's like 1 to 5, I think. They'll tell you how toxic it is, if it's good or not. So it's like, okay, well, right now I have a 5, which is completely toxic. Maybe I go down to a 2 or 1.
Right.
But they have recommendations for all kinds of categories on there. Sometimes I can get lost just looking and researching stuff on there.
Same. That's how I have.
Company.
Yeah, that's how I found my natural makeup that I've switched to. Yep. That's how I found my most recent shampoo purchase. Yep. The toothpaste I'm using now. So yeah, I have used them a lot for personal care products. They are
I found the shampoo that I'm using now too, and it's great because they're also environmentally conscious too. Yeah. And sustainable conscious. So I'm like, okay, so you get the first bottle of shampoo and it costs so much, but then you can get the refill in a bag type of thing. And it's like, holy cow, I just saved a boatload of money, even though I spent more for the bottle of shampoo. By buying the refill, I saved a whole bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's clean.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, there's so many different levels of what you can purchase on there. I agree. That's a fantastic resource for anybody wanting to swap out. Or if you're looking at your personal care product ingredients, like we talked about,
sure, right?
And you're not sure, go in there and just type in an ingredient and see what they say about it.
Yep.
That's how I found out about what was it that I used to, the titanium dioxide, I know, but there was something, mica in a lot of the eyeshadows and stuff. And yes, it's natural, but it gave me all of the reasons why maybe it's not the best thing because of what it can do to your eyes and things like that. So it's definitely lots of information on there. So living room and bedrooms, we talked about ditching the synthetic air fresheners and candles. Opt for essential oil diffusers or beeswax candles. Essential oil diffusers. I don't know why we didn't say that earlier. Yeah. That's what I use more than anything. Yeah. And talk about something that naturally improves the scent of your home. I mean, now be aware, I want you to do your due diligence. If you have pets, go online and search for the the essential oils that are safe for pets. There are
Yes.
a whole list, but you want to make sure you stick to those if you're a pet person. We're really cautious about what we use because of us having our cats.
And I have the dog, so I always look things up before I do it just to make
Yeah.
sure it's not going to harm him.
Yeah, yeah. They have a way of metabolizing some of those that affect
Yes.
their pancreas, and it can shut down their pancreas and their kidneys
Yes.
if they get too much of whatever some of those essential oils carry.
Just
By
like
no means-
and little kids, you know,
Yeah.
my kids aren't at home anymore, but if you're raising little kids or you have grandchildren around, there's some things that you don't want to be putting in the air that's not good. Just like, you know, under a year old, you don't want to give them honey.
Yeah,
You
very
know?
true. Very true. And it's interesting you say that because the fascinating thing, because remember, these things are very safe for most people.
Right.
The children age that you need to worry about is usually 2 and under.
Yes.
So if your kids are older, they can generally tolerate most of the same
Yes.
ones that we can. But Wendy's exactly right. You want to look that up and make sure
Yeah.
that you're not diffusing something that could potentially be harmful to.
Yeah, because if you have a kid with asthma, there's certain essential oils that you're not going to want to put in the air.
Yep. Yep. My next thing on my list was open windows daily. You kind of do that, even in the window. I mean, even in the winter.
I have vacuum with a HEPA filter.
Yes, that's a great idea. HEPA and carbon filters.
Yes.
If you not only vacuuming, but actually getting an air purifier with HEPA and carbon filters, HEPA or carbon filters are wonderful. And then we talked about plants and non-toxic laundry detergents. Think about laundry detergents as kind of like what we were talking about with the upholstery.
Yes.
You are walking around with toxins that you're breathing in your clothes if you are wearing.
And it's absorbing through your skin because it's in your clothes.
Yeah. So it definitely does make a difference. So bathroom and personal care. We talked about the fluoride-free toothpaste, also aluminum-free deodorants.
Yes.
They have linked a lot of that to breast cancer, to endocrine disruption.
So many different things.
Switch to a good or make your own deodorant.
I make my own twice a year. You can get a 12-pack of deodorant holders, and if you make 12, I guarantee you they're going to last you and another year.
Yeah.
Because it's so different from regular deodorants because you don't just cover everything. You just swipe.
Yeah.
Swipe. It's a quick one little swipe, and a little bit goes a long way.
It does. It does. And if you are eating natural and you periodically do armpit detoxes, you may find you don't even really need it.
Yep.
It's pretty wild. My husband, he wouldn't care if I shared this. It's so funny. I got him switched over to Piper Y, which is a deodorant that we absolutely love.
I love them too till I started making my own.
Yeah. PIPERWAI, Piper Y.
They're a great option.
Fantastic option. And he made the comment last summer. He was shocked because he's a plumber. So he works out in the elements and he's always out in the heat and in the cold. And he came home one day last year in the summer, and he said, I didn't put deodorant on this morning. I forgot to. He said, and I didn't smell myself all day. He said, that has never, ever happened. And it just blew his mind. And he only needs it once a day. So it works better. Yes, it's expensive, but it's worth it.
It's worth it because once you detox yourself like that, you're right. You really don't need it. You really don't. And I have noticed that too, because I'm like, it's like, wow, things are so different.
Yeah.
When you change, you will. Now, when I was first detoxing, there was a couple days where I couldn't stand myself and I was showering a little extra. But once you get through that, it's like, it's it's amazing. It
Yeah.
really is.
Well, and there's an armpit detox. I haven't used it in a while, and it works so well where you get bentonite clay and mix it with some raw organic apple cider vinegar.
Nice.
And put that right on. Let it get hard because the bentonite clay
Like a mask.
like a face mask. And I would keep it on for a good 10 to 20 minutes before I take a shower. Then get in the shower, wash it all off. Y'all, not to be gross, but the first time I did that, I was under a lot of stress, and my daddy was in the process of going through all his chemo and all of his cancer treatments. And I had detoxed the night before in Maryland, drove down early in the morning to go take daddy to one of his cancer treatments down to the Richmond area. And I'm sitting there in the waiting room, and all of a sudden I felt it pouring out of me. And I was like, oh, this is terrible.
It's wild to think that, but when you clear the way for things, it will come out. I mean, it is totally worth it. And I know from all that nasty aluminum filled deodorant I've used for years, it was just things were clogged up.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what happened to me. I've never had it react quite that same way when I've detoxed after that.
Yeah. It's like only the first time or something.
Yeah.
It's just kind of just like, okay, oh, thank you. What a release.
The floodgates opened, and it was awful. And I was like, ugh, I don't ever want to go through that again. That was terrible. So yes, definitely.
I did have another note for the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
Because all mattresses 2015 and older. So if you don't have a mattress that's at least 10 years new, you want to make sure that you have a washable organic cotton pad in between you and that mattress, because all mattresses 2015 and older have all that sprayed stuff, like we were talking about, that the furniture, all the fire retardant stuff.
Got it.
Crazy toxic.
Great. Wonderful. Yes. So that is definitely a good
so that would at least put a layer in between you and that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And also something that I made a note of, and I forgot to mention, when you check your personal care products, which in any place, look for parabens, the phthalates, and SLS. Those are the things that you definitely want to look for. I gave you the easy version, which is just look for fragrance. That really is the easy way of checking, but you want to definitely check for the others if you're really trying to dive in and just see what else is in your personal care products. And opt for natural body washes and shampoos. Avoid synthetic fragrances, like we said. You can make your own. That's going to be my next fun project as I run out of things like my face wash and things like that. Wendy's been doing this for a while, and she's totally inspired me. I am totally going with,
it's so easy. I mean, it really is. It's just so easy.
A handful of ingredients really makes a difference. I mean,
when you can buy the ingredients that you need in bulk, you're going to save a boatload of money. And you don't have to do everything at one time. And a lot of stuff, when you get into the bathroom for personal care products, like your soaps and your face wash and this, it's going to be a lot of the same ingredients.
Yeah.
You're just going to tweak it up a little here and there, depending on if it's for the face or, because you want a little something more gentler for the face. But so it's like a lot of the core ingredients are still going to be the same, though. So then you're saving a lot of money.
That's just like household cleaners.
Yes.
I thought switching over to homemade household cleaners was going to be some big undertaking.
Yeah.
The same 4 or 5 ingredients across the board on all of them in some different, form.
Right. Exactly. So the same core ingredients, and you can, and the wonderful thing is you can switch up scents and all like that, depending on what you like. So and it still works. Absolutely. I also had a note for the bathroom to swap out vinyl shower curtains for fabric so they can be washed and dried so they don't hold any mold or mildew.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I also have, we've talked about this before, tech and EMFs.
Yes.
Technology and EMFs, electromagnetic fields. People don't think of that as something they need to detox from. We are in a world where we desperately need detox from that as much as possible.
Yes, because it's like the toxic atmosphere, environment. You get overloaded. I mean, we're all walking around with our phones. We're all use the computer. It's like you're always bombarded with it. So it's like you gotta give yourself the relief of some downtime.
Yeah. I'll tell you what really opened my eyes to this, because I thought it was woo-woo. I thought it was crazy. I'm like, oh, whatever. We're all going to be just fine. There's nothing happening. It was when I saw a study about how many people who use those earbuds or still talk on their phone, that their dominant side that they talk on most often is where most brain tumors were showing up in young people.
Yeah.
On that side of their head. And
Yeah.
it blew me away. I mean, the research is out there. If you all just search, it's incredible. And they know this, and they're not deterring it. That's why you'll never see me. Well, I say you'll never. I don't have an earbud unless it's for if I'm walking at the park and have my music. And that's very rare, because usually the park I walk at, I'm far enough from people that I just play it out loud on my phone.
Right.
I talk on my speaker, but I'm not rude. I don't do it in the grocery store. Ask Billy question. I don't ever, if you see that phone up to my head, it is a very rare case.
Yep. It's the same thing. I always use the speaker. And it's interesting too, because they say that men that carry their phones in their front pockets, it's affecting fertility stuff for them. And women the same way. If they always have their phone on their leg, on their thigh, they have linked that to fertility issues. And I'm like, holy cow.
And cancers in that region.
Yeah.
I had my kids tease me, but they also appease me. So one thing I asked for Christmas this year that my daughter got me, my daughter and son-in-law, was one of those pads. I got it right here because I take it with me all the time. I sit with my laptop on my lap a lot.
Is it an EMF blocker?
It is. It's a safe sleeve. And I asked for this for Christmas because I told him, I said, your mama's going to end up with cervical cancer or uterine cancer or something, because I've always got my daggone laptop down here.
Yeah.
And so now I've got this there, and they thought it was funny, but they appeased me.
But they got it for you. That's what matters.
But so yeah, that's definitely something that you can do.
I have another tip for people too that we might not always think about, but clean your cleaning tools.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when I open my washing machine or my dryer or go to clean my toilet, those things need to be clean too. How can you get clean clothes if your washing machine is dirty?
Yeah.
And so, how do you clean your toilets if your toilet brush is filthy?
So what do you do? Just spray?
I would spray them with the cleaner. Yes, spray them with whatever cleaner that you're using, and that should be good to go.
Wipe it all out. That makes sense.
And the last thing that I had was and this is not woo woo, even though a lot of people think it only comes from the woo woo world. Burning sage or herbs doesn't necessarily have to be sage. I just found that sage is one of the best ones because it's good at killing bacteria, viruses, and different funguses and repelling insects. So if you have those windows open, go through your house and burn that sage, and it's gonna, while the windows are open, it's just gonna release microbes to get out of the house.
That's great.
Airborne bacteria, viruses, funguses, and it repels insects.
Yeah.
So it's not about the woo-woo. It actually does some stuff.
It has its good uses. Yeah. If you're watching us and you're Christian and you thought that was just witchcraft, there is actually some true science behind why sage burning is, or a lot of the
incense or things like
medicinal
that. Yeah,
incense.
because I mean, I burn frankincense and myrrh as incense all the time because I like the smell, but it also puts a certain feel in the air.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It does. It kind of cleans everything up.
Yes.
It gives everything a clean scent and clean feel.
Yes.
Also back on the EMFs, we've talked about it at length. Keep your phones out of your bedroom.
Yes.
If you
You'll
have
sleep
to
better.
have it, if you have to have it in your bedroom, take it away from your bedside table, put it across the room.
Away from your head.
Yeah, if you have to have it in there, so, for an emergency purpose, if you need to hear it ring, or for your alarm or something like that. And I haven't done this. I really do just try and shut off all of my devices by 2 hours before bedtime. But if you are going to use your devices late, get blue blocking glasses. And that will really help the blue light not affect your circadian rhythm as much.
Okay.
In those cases.
And if I don't know a lot about them, but if you're on your computer or your phone a lot, should you be wearing the blue glasses?
It would be a good idea.
Okay.
It would be a good idea. Yeah. I know that I had that option before I understood how important it was. And so I didn't get that on mine because it's extra money, I don't know. Maybe I told them to this round. I don't remember. I know that I didn't used to. But it does. It's supposed to make a big difference on when you're using the blue blockers on your glasses. So I also have detoxing your body while detoxing your home, which is right up my alley and what I teach everybody. Support your liver. Add detox friendly foods, broccoli sprouts, which we'll talk about in a minute, garlic, beets, turmeric. There's so many things that you can add to your life. Apple cider vinegar. I've got apple cider vinegar in my first tea of the day.
Stuff that's right in your kitchen probably already.
Yeah, exactly. And all great to help support your liver. Stay hydrated. Half your body weight in ounces of water. If you are over 260 pounds, see, look at you. I'm so proud of you. If you are over 260 pounds, make sure you're getting at least a gallon of water a day. And start your morning with warm lemon water. We talked about that in the past too. It stimulates digestion and also liver detoxification. Oh, I've got so much more, and we are.
We're already at an hour.
Don't we do this every time?
It just goes by so fast.
It does. How does that happen? Move your body. This helps. Even light sweating will help eliminate toxins. When you can do it outside and you're actually breathing in the fresh air, even better. I know that's a lot more miserable this time of year for those of y'all like me who are not winter babies. However,
no, I'm not going out there.
Look at that. You're so funny. And then also do deep breathing. Breathing deep can really, the deep breathing exercises, our lungs are a major detox organ. When you have cleansed your environment of all of the garbage, do that inside. You can do deep breathing inside, but if not, go outside and try what's called box breathing. Yes. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold your breath for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and then hold your breath for 4 counts. If you do that, you're really allowing it. Think of it like this. Your liver is detoxifying your blood or is filtering your toxins from your blood every 6 seconds.
That's right.
So as you're doing that, your blood is getting a good good cleansing.
Yes.
And you're really helping to support that.
You're pushing a lot more oxygen into your blood when you do it too.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing for every part of your body.
Yes. Yes. So let's talk about, did you have anything else on your list that we missed?
I do not. I did have a recipe for a disinfectant spray.
Oh, nice.
Just so everybody can use it. You can turn this into a spray or use it as a wipe. It's a quarter cup of distilled water, a 1 1/4 cup of distilled water. Sorry, couldn't read my own handwriting for a second. 1 1/4 cup of distilled water, a quarter cup of white vinegar, a quarter cup of vodka or rubbing alcohol, but make sure it's at least 70% alcohol solution. 10 drops of tea tree oil and 10 drops of eucalyptus oil. That is a disinfectant spray, pretty much good on everything. Now you can make this also with a touch of hydrogen peroxide.
Mhm.
But if you make it with the peroxide, you want to make sure that you put it on a rag and not directly on surfaces. If you add the peroxide, do not use it on marble or granite or purses or computers or phones, any kind of screen, because it will scratch. It will take that, like, the first layer of stuff off of it. So don't use it on that. So that's why I like this spray without the hydrogen peroxide, because then it's pretty much safe for everything.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that, because I have been planning on, with my next batch of homemade cleaners, to use organic vodka as a part of it, because the more and more I've looked into it, while the vinegar is very effective, they say that on some organisms from like raw meats and things like that might get on your counter, it might not be as effective. And so that is a big recommendation.
The alcohol is a little bit better for kind of killing stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great recommendation, Wendy.
So that's all I have. So now I'm ready to take notes on
the broccoli sprout.
The broccoli sprout, which, that was probably one of the first things that you taught me how to do. And I was so amazed at how easy and efficient and affordable it was.
It is. And it's something that, I really thought about this, and I wish I'd thought about it sooner to have one further along to show everybody. We've done that before, though, where we've shown people. But when we talk about all these things that we're doing in the kitchen, I mean, in the garden, I know it can get so overwhelming. And so that is the one thing. And I've done talks at church and talks at farms and stuff. And that's always my go-to, is that if you are overwhelmed by the thought of growing any of your own food, start with this, because it will make you feel like a super gardener. I mean, it's really so easy, and it's amazing how healthy they are. And I've got some stats I wanted to share why broccoli sprouts are so good. They're rich in sulforaphane, which broccoli sprouts contain 50 to 100 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli.
Wow.
This is a potent compound known for its detoxification, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. So yes, broccoli is super healthy, but the sprouts are 50 to 100 times more concentrated for the sulforaphane, which is just huge. So also the sulforaphane, easy for me to say, activates the body's natural detox pathways, particularly the NRF2 pathway, which helps neutralize harmful toxins and free radicals. So, I mean, just eating a handful of these broccoli sprouts a day are so powerful, and that it doesn't stop there. So it supports liver detox, stimulates phase 2 liver detoxification, helping your body eliminate heavy metals, which is a big concern in our society these days, pesticides, which is also a big concern, and other environmental toxins. So simply eating broccoli sprouts, that you're throwing on a salad or on a wrap or something like that, or even a snack, they're really tasty.
Right.
That is something that will really help your detoxification system. Nice. It boosts glutathione. I can't talk today. Helps elevate levels of the glutathione, which is the body's master antioxidant. This is essential for immune function and cellular repair. And this is all over the body, but in particular, you'll hear of a lot of people taking glutathione who have real bad problems with their gut health because they need help rebuilding the cellular portion or the cells in their gut, in their microbiome. Cancer fighting properties. Studies have shown that sulforaphane rich foods like broccoli sprouts may reduce the risk of certain cancers, particularly breast, prostate, and colon cancers. And last but not least, it is a powerhouse of nutrients. Vitamin C, A, fiber, and essential minerals like calcium and iron. And I made a note. I went on to my carb manager, which is what I always recommend that people use. 1 cup of broccoli sprouts, which is easy to eat in a day. If you're spreading it out on salads, you could throw them in a smoothie. You could, put them on wraps. You could do anything with them. But 1 cup is 4 grams of fiber, which I'm a huge fan of. Only 1 gram of net carbs, 2 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and only 35 calories, and just loaded with all of the essential nutrients and minerals that you need. So let's talk about how to do this. Super easy. So you want to start with a mason jar and sprouting lids. Now, guys, you can spend all amount of money on any kind of sprouting lid system. I'll leave that up to you. Yep. I have 6 of these, and they have done very well for me. And I spent $8 on 6 of them.
You don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Now, there are some nice fancy ones that have like racks that keep your jars tilted and things like that. Still, you might spend $20, $25 at the most.
Yeah.
You can get them that have covers that go over the jars. Let me tell you what I do that makes this so easy. You get you a sprouting lid. For the first 24 hours, you want to soak them in water. So I just put these in here this morning, 2 teaspoons of broccoli seeds. Okay. You can get the organic sprouting seeds in a big old package on Amazon, or, you can go a lot of places. But I know if you look up organic broccoli seeds, and you can also, if you want to get cute, you can do mixtures. You can do them that have alfalfa and radish sprouts and mung bean sprouts. And
they have all kinds of options out there now.
Yeah. Yeah. But specifically us talking about broccoli sprouts, you put 2 teaspoons of seeds in here, fill it up to the top with the water, and you let it sit for a day. Okay. After that, you're just going to drain it out the top of this. This has holes in it. You see? I'm obviously not going to turn it, but so far, because it'll spill all over my desk, but it's got holes. And all I do is I dump it and I rinse it through here, through the holes in here. Do that twice a day. And then you keep them upside down so that it's dripping. I'll put like either a towel or a couple of paper towels down, just so any added drips, it's right on that. Now, what I do, rather than get a jar with a cover, I just throw a towel over top, a dish towel. That will, imagine why are your, what environment are your seeds sprouting in? They're in the dark. They're under the water. Under the soil. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm trying to do, is to create that dark, moist environment for them. You got to rinse them twice a day. You can do them 3 times a day if you want. And then put the towel over them. If you do that, in 5 days, you will have a jar full of sprouts.
Yep.
It's literally that simple.
Guaranteed.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes I let it go a week. If now I will tell you that I've had a friend that had one of the tilters, and they seem to get a little bit more yield than I do by not having one of those tilted racks. But I'm very happy with how much I usually get in a jar. I can easily fill this jar up in 5 to 7 days without a problem.
Nice. Yeah. So
it makes
I love it because it is so easy and it is so tasty.
It is. It is. You are going to save a ton of money if you're somebody that typically buys sprouts for the health benefits.
Holy cow, microgreens are, good night. Even at local farmers markets and stuff, holy cow, they're
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. Don't think I haven't I haven't thought about growing them myself and selling them at our little farm stand.
Yeah,
one
because
day
they're so easy.
Yeah. I mean, really what you are getting that would fill this whole jar, you'd probably spend $25 on
Yep.
in the grocery store.
Absolutely.
For
Easy.
organic ones, 100%
Yep.
it would be that
Easy.
much. So definitely worth your few dollars of investment on the seeds and
Absolutely.
the sprouting lids, and it'll blow your mind how easy it is. Let's see here. What else was I going to add to that? I guess I just want you all to know that once you grow the broccoli sprouts, then get your confidence up to choose one thing to throw in the garden outside this summer, or this spring to grow in the summer. It can be an herb or something like that, a
You don't even
spice.
have to go outside. Just put something in a little pot.
Yeah.
Put an herb in a little pot inside. Do something so easy that it's going to get your confidence up to do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sprouts is a great opening for that.
It is. So, final thoughts, just detox your home.
Yes.
Get rid of all the junk. And you know what? God designed our bodies to heal.
Yes.
So we just need to reduce the burden and give our bodies the tools that it needs.
Absolutely.
So if you look at it that way and just recognize that you can heal from whatever you have going on.
No matter what it is. No matter what it is.
We just have to stop overburdening our bodies with so many toxins. Does this mean that I never come in contact with toxins? 100% no. We will.
We can't stop that.
Yeah.
But what we can do is eliminate a lot of things to where our bodies aren't completely and utterly overwhelmed.
Yeah. Every change you make reduces your toxic load. I mean, it's just do one thing at a time. And I've shared on here a lot of times, Wendy has as well, that I started the food route 12, 13 years ago. It wasn't until, I don't know, I started down the route of personal, of household cleaners.
A little here and there through the years we did.
Last decade. But it wasn't until probably about the last 3 or 4 years that I really started thinking about my personal.
That's serious. Product. Yeah. Because we were doing the laundry detergent 12 years ago.
Yeah. But really started making some major changes really when Bill and Rick had cancer. And it really opened our eyes that like, okay, what can we control?
We have to change. Something has to change.
Yeah. We can't control it all, and nor do we try to, but we had to start working on what we could control. It's not about perfection. It's about progress though, y'all.
That's right.
So don't ever walk away from our podcasts going, oh my gosh, I've got to go do these 20 things. No, you don't.
No.
Do one.
Just do one.
And you will make a massive difference in your life. I want to see pictures. Send us pictures. Either tag us on social media or send us a picture into our email at Wendy's on Wellness at gmail.com. Wait. Yeah.
Wendy's on Wellness at gmail.com. Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, is that wrong? So yes, send us pictures of your broccoli sprouts.
Yes.
I want to see what you guys are doing.
Yes.
Got some upcoming events. Faithful Friends Farm.
Oh, I love them.
I know. I'm speaking there on Saturday to a sold out group. Nice. We are going to be discussing immune boosting foods as well as cancer fighting foods. I am going to be making my homemade pizza with the chicken crust because it is at a chicken farm. I thought that would be very appropriate. We're actually going to be making our own mozzarella with the help of the farm owner of Connie.
Okay.
And we're going to milk her cow. It's going to go right from milk to mozzarella, and it's going to go on our pizza. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There are 2 more events scheduled, and they are not sold out yet. So if you guys are in the area, in the Westminster, Maryland area, and want to go, April 5th and May 24th, I'm also going to be speaking there. Also, I still have the phase 2 program special going on. which is if you sign up for any long-term program right now, and I can't guarantee how long this is going on. I'm getting close to capping this off.
Right.
But if you sign up for any long-term program, you are going to get 8 months of phase 2 for free, which is our continued support program, and it's valued at $2,000 for 8 months of that.
Nice.
So
what a deal.
Yeah. And Wendy, do you want to share how good you feel after a week?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm down 9 pounds.
Woo!
And my knees and my ankles, the inflammation is totally gone. So I'm feeling, tremendous. It's only been a week and a day.
That's so awesome. I've been encouraging Wendy to do this. I mean, she's done a lot of what I've taught for years, but I've been encouraging
her a little.
I've been encouraging her to do one of my programs for years, and she finally jumped all in. She's doing the Freedom Fighters program, and she started last Monday.
Yep, last Monday.
And wow, already.
It's amazing. I'm feeling great.
That's awesome. Every single person who joined with you is in the same boat, because we had 4 of you all that all started within a week of each other, and every one of you all are in that same boat, and I love it. Yes. Everybody's getting amazing results already. Let's see here. What else? What do you have going on this week, girl?
Oh, you know what? This is the brush it out, throw it up hair, because I am in the midst. Yesterday, I cleaned out my entire wannabe office room, and I got it totally primed. And today is color paint day. So I am trying to get an actual office in my house set up again. So I am just, that is my focus right now, is getting that done, putting it back together so everything has a home, and purging stuff while I do this.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because it makes less clutter, less stuff, makes my mind calmer.
Yes.
So I have been doing some serious purging, and I was going to go drop some stuff off today, but I think I'll wait. I think I'll just stay in my thrown up hair and paint mode today.
I don't blame you a bit.
How about you? What you got going on? I know there's a 1,000 things going on with the purchase of a new homestead and getting ready to go on vacation and all the things.
Yeah, leaving next Tuesday to go see the babies. My granddaughter's 3rd birthday is going to be next week, and going to be out there for 2 weeks. Give me something to enjoy and break up my brain from all things house mode, because it's been rough. And we had a sick kitty this week, of all times. When the lender is watching every dollar you spend, and all of a sudden you have a $2,000 bill from the vet, it's like, I hope our lender is a animal person. And
right. Of course. That's like Murphy's Law. When somebody's overseeing something, that's when something's going to happen.
So one thing that you and I have talked about, that we'll have to table to another time, but one day we're going to figure out what it is in this magical food that he has to take. I have been very picky about what my cats eat, but this is his 2nd time having something urinary related. I know I needed to switch his water from well water, and so we're real good about giving him bottled water now, but I had gotten him
the prescription food.
This is the prescription food.
We're gonna figure out what's in that, and we're gonna try to make it.
To replicate it, because this is not cheap food. But he's got to be on this urinary health food forever. So if we can figure out what it is in there that can that can
duplicate,
that would be amazing. So anyway.
We will miss you guys for the next 2 weeks, but you won't have to miss us, because we recorded 2 for you guys. So Wendy will be putting those out every week, even though she's gone, she's going to put them out on Wednesdays. So y'all don't have to miss us.
Nope. And, start flooding our email box about topics you want us to cover, because
Yes,
we're
please.
going to, other than us talking about probably at some point, once we're live again, what to do in March to
Right.
prepare for your garden, and spring cleaning ideas.
Yes.
Other than that, we don't have any specific topics planned yet. So we love to hear from you guys. A lot of our topics have come from you all. So flood our email box. Make sure you subscribe to this, to the YouTube channel,
share,
all
please. That's right. Wendy's on wellness at gmail.com.
Yep.
We want comments. We want suggestions. We want ideas.
Yep.
Just let us, whatever you want to send us. We just want to hear from you.
And I had to go look because I couldn't remember. The YouTube channel is at Freedom Holistic Wellness.
Okay.
It's under my name, Wendy Massey. Okay. And you want to subscribe to that, because my husband and I are going to start coming to you guys live as we're doing our homestead, as we're building it from the ground up, and just walking y'all through what a day in the life of our crazy world looks like. Every day most days we're going to go live and show you all what we're up to. And I know a lot of people have said they're really interested in following that whole process. So looking forward to that.
Yes, it'll be fun.
Yes. All right, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. Again, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't miss a thing. And we appreciate you guys. Keep the suggestions coming. We love y'all. Thank you for your support, and have an amazing couple of weeks.
That's right.